Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? Exonon here, back with another video. Hope you guys are doing well. Uh, Today we'll be talking about Nexo and why they're leaving the United States, right? So I have used Nexo and I didn't have a great experience, right? But we will see what is up with them and why they are leaving the United States right now. We know there was a lot of stuff going on with FTX and stuff like that, right? But just to look into Nexo, and I do know there was some crazy stuff that they've done. Right, so let's see what they say and how they word up their side of the story. Uh, right, so they came out with a tweet saying this was yesterday, right? I believe we had some people, and it's still December 5th for them. Today we are announcing the regrettable but necessary decision that Nexo will be phasing out its products and services in the United States due to a lack of regulatory clarity. Okay, right. So let's see, quote unquote. We do know that there is stuff like the SEC and regulations, right? But let's see how they word it to defend themselves, right? They say they phasing out its products and so due to lack of regulatory clarity, right? So since inception, Nexo expended significant efforts to do things the right way. Initially, regulators encouraged our cooperation and a sustainable path forward seemed viable, but recent events and subsequent change in regulators' behavior point to the opposite. Our decision comes after more than 18 months of good faith dialogue with U.S. state and federal regulators. Despite the inconsistent and changing positions, Nexo has engaged in significant ongoing efforts to proactively modify its business in response to their concerns. In the 18 months, they had a lot of time to plan it out. Let's see, we'll skip through some of the stuff. I will drop this tweet in the description, right? So let's see what they say. As part of our cooperation with regulators during the course of 21 and 22, we have off-boarded clients from the states of New York and Vermont and have suspended new registrations from all U.S. clients. Our earned interest products to meet regulators' expectations. So for all U.S. clients, they're suspending them, right? You can see that's quote unquote a red flag already. It's just not these. So that's on their end. But the way they worded it towards the regulation, right? Then they say as of six, our own products will not be available existing clients in 8 additional U.S. states: Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Wisconsin, California, and Washington. Now, California, very interesting too, because I have some stuff that they try to do in California, and there was a guy from California that sued them, right? No, I will talk about that when we get into this. So they gave the said try to get the people to be on their side, right? You know how these exchanges work. You're gonna have people that agree with them, and then people will see through the BS and what they're actually doing, right? It's always been that way, and how things they will the whole political theatrics where you'll get people that will side with them and people that would side with them. As you can see, it gives bad results. You can see what about Flare? We still get our Flare network for those who have XRP or Nexo. Yeah, Anthony Chenship, and these guys on YouTube as well. They do have the comment section turned off, right? So that's should be a red flag to when they don't take questions. So you can see these questions being asked. Uh, but the rules are clear according to the land. If you are greedy rich, okay, right? So you can see where things are going there. Uh, and then you see there's some people that will welcome them. Right, so See, don't come back. You can see, as you can see, the up to the stuff, right? Right. So you see those things are happening there, right? So let's see why they're leaving the United States. Not to keep you guys waiting any longer, right? So let's get to this article that came out November 21st, 2022. Cryptoland next for allegedly blocking 126 million withdrawals in 2020 to 21. Yeah, I have some emails and stuff. Like there was been a lot of times where I had to email these guys to get funds out of because the transactions and the processing. So them blocking, yeah, that is true. They did block XRP transactions a lot of times when I was using them. I still do have the app to check news and stuff like that, but I did not put any funds in there. And just recently, they just been listing all these silly tokens that have no real potential. There's like there's maybe like 5 or 6 I think that have real use cases, and the rest is like so they have been screwing some stuff on the red. So we see this came out in uh 21, 22. I was just waiting. Like I've seen a lot of news and stuff, and I knew what these guys were doing. I was just waiting for the right timing, and now seems the right timing when the dust settles and you see them trying to move away from the United States. Right, so Nexo being sued in the London High Court by a group of investors who alleged that the crypto lender blocked them from withdrawing over 107 million British pounds worth of crypto, right? Uh, right, so you kind of see that's a red flag already. People should be able, if it's crypto, it's not with the banks, but yeah, they like have a banking mentality. These guys, obviously, that's a lot of cash as well to withdraw, which will leave an exchange like these guys with that because they currently do the same similar things to FTX, right? Not as crazy as FTX, but they all in the same boat, right? So you see that three investors, brothers Jason, Owen, Martin, and their cousin alleged that Nexo froze the accounts after they sought to remove the assets from the platform. Right, so you see that's criminal activity offense right there. The Martins claimed that they were then pressured into selling million worth of Nexo's native token back to the firm at a discount price with the threat that they would be blocked from withdrawing the crypto. Okay, so you can see how these guys are playing. Like they're doing the same Sam, freezing accounts and stuff like that. Wouldn't advise anyone to use this type of platform. Right in the described legal claim as opportunistic as it was brought October, even though the events took place during 2020 through March 2021, and they did scrutinize over 5 million people when the Ripple lawsuit dropped and they delisted XRP. They liquidated a lot of people's funds there as well. So, that sucks to a lot of people because they just like that. So, and that was unfair, which they should be in trouble for just taking people's funds like that for the lawsuit dropped and they delisted it without even giving people warning to move their funds out of the platform. So they should have, before they delisted, give people a warning notice in 2020 in that December period to withdraw it, and they're still holding people's flare tokens, so that says enough about them. But having made substantial profits from trading the Nexo tokens, the claimant would withdraw all their assets from the Nexo platform. The case Martin and others, Nexo Capital. So, right, that's one thing that they going to face. Now, that's just to those three brothers, right? And then we'll get into this article, which was actually April 6th, 2021. And I believe around this time is where I did get the So let me just show you guys on what I'm talking about. And I'll go into my Twitter because I did call them out. So this was on the May 25th, right? I had this amount of XRP, as you can see, a circle, right? And then they decided to do this to me, and then I was left with that much XRP. So not to just point it to me, I'm not the only one. So it's not only me, uh, but these are the people that have experienced this. But I don't take it like a loss sometimes because I've actually learned not to do this kind of stuff again from this type of experience. Alright, so then they faced this lawsuit again, and they tried to work with the media because this lawsuit didn't get much traction, right? Uh, so the U.S. security legal action against for conducting unregistered securities on, right? So Nexo allowed users to borrow fiat currency or using over collateralized loans that are backed by crypto assets. Yeah, so they have this loan tactic in place, right, which should price fluctuations, but when people sign up, they do not mention this loan or anything like that, which was really a con artist move, right? By not mentioning that when people sign up and all these policies, the complaints such as Nexo terms of service stating Nexo will, after providing notice, sell the collateral to bring back. And at this time, no one was really prepared for what was going to happen, right? No one expected a lawsuit on Ripple, which sucks. These people actually lost their funds and stuff like that. So Jiong, alleges Jiong is from California. This I can't remember his full name. That Nexo reacted to the SEC's announcement by suspending the use of XRP as collateral to pay down loans and for staking on this. So they just did it like that and not even giving people notice. Uh, so that shows they don't really care about their clients and customers, but without giving them notice. Many users were left unable to support their loan positions, prompting wholesale liquidations across the platform. Further, the plaintiff alleges Nexo unjustifiably sold off customers XRP and pocketed the pros, stating seeing that XRP thus dropped significantly to Nexo suspend use of XRP without stake as collateral paid on and without providing notice of the suspension. Nexo did so because it did not want to be left holding XRP as it substantially decreased value, not because Nexo believed that the SEC's announcement counseled against the use of XRP. Right. So we see, right, according to the Nexus in liquidation of more than $5 million, right, worth of its customers' assets. That's a lot of money. So then they should show you already $126 million withdrawals, three people. Then with customers alone, we don't know. That's a lot of customers, 5 million. We don't know, right? So and then this guy dropped the lawsuit on them, and I'll drop this article below and you can read through this, right? And we'll go. The platform recently filed a defamation lawsuit against former customer Lance Johansson over false the defendant published the Trustpilot, and he took on the so they were this lawsuit that was going on, right? So you got 3 or 4 lawsuits. You got those 3 brothers with the lawsuit, the Martin and the 2 brothers and the cousin, and then you have Jiong, that's one loss, and then Lance Johansson, that's 3 lawsuits, right? That's in that one dude this from California. So that's 3 lawsuits, right? Then we get into this article. The eight U.S. state regulators charged Nexo for failure to register interest account. Right, so they were doing some shady stuff. Right? So I'll leave this article in below as well. 8 U.S. state regulators Monday charged cryptocurrency Nexo Group for allegedly failing to register its earned interest as authorities crack down on digital assets platforms rocked by crypto winter in recent months. So you can see why they are trying They're saying they're leaving the United States, but it's because of all the stuff they're doing. Look at that guy, the FTX guy. He ran to the Bahamas, right? He has a place in Bahamas. So most of these guys that have things like this, they've tried to leave the states. It's not for good. It's to so just to they. But I'll be honest, these guys had very well trained marketing skills to market the product in such a way to get this much users and stuff. Same with FTX, they used Tom Brady and stuff like that. Right? So you see that and it says all these days Nexo violated the law and investors trusted by falsely claiming it is a license and registered. New York Attorney General Letitia James said, adding she had sued the company and was seeking disgorgement of any revenues derived from Nexo's unlawful conduct. That's four lawsuits against it already, right? And with the eight regulators that come in, and then you see BlockFi had agreed to pay 100 in landmark settlement with the US SEC and state. Oh, and there's also stuff with BlockFi that's going on at the moment, right? So we've seen that. Then February, we fast forward, we come next as voluntarily cease the onboarding of new US clients for earned interest as well as stopped the product for new balances. Existing clients, the company said. Right, so you kind of see all these things going on, right? And just to go into this dude, it's a good friend, NX, right? Uh, if you want to give him a follow, he doesn't have that much followers and stuff, right? But he has been calling out the stuff that's going on with Nexo for quite a bit of a while. But crypto Twitter, how it is, and stuff, this stuff gets, obviously his voice is getting drowned out as he's trying to call the stuff out due to the, how the algorithms, work, right? So, Eco's calling out this stuff for quite a while. As you see all these different exchanges, withdrawals volume, FTX. So, top withdrawal volume. So, you see Nexo, and then you see on FTX, on the tokens, and what they were doing. What did Nexo know? So, you see the volumes there. He tried to tell us people a lot of time. Hmm. Right, so he was saying he also spoke about this, right? And this is the right time to bring about everything that's widely. While also we appreciate the lawsuit will always be brought against successful, we would like to think that our incapable track record of 5 million touch users speak loudest about Nexo's business. Right, so you can see the sarcasm, right? So he also this right. Look what happened in the US Bureau. The council still got the lawsuits, and the lawsuits declared acceptable tells Nexo that won't happen. So you see, let me look at this. What's going on here? So you kind of see what these guys are up to. They kind of did a lot of shady stuff, and then we'll get into this one because this one is really interesting as well as they use Avino for real-time auditing. Right, so quite the auditor of XTX official. Right, so we see Amino LLP, and yes, they are auditors of Nexo, as you see, a real-time asset, a test for Nexo, right? I will drop these tweets. This is some crazy stuff that is going on with Nexo. As you see, they also do audits for Nexo and stuff, and then also everybody that has play on Nexo. You can see Nexo's 50% drop due to regulatory. There's always been red flags with Nexo, right? It's not like something, but now that everything's out in the open, and that's when you kind of see these stuff taking place. So it's very interesting that these things are happening, right? And I'm saying with Nexo. So just wanted to share on stuff what they're doing, right? Which is trying to get away with the crimes that they have done. I think it's a good time to see where everything is going. Now that all the evidence is out, then there's always been stuff out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Bye, guys.